in Roshan, and Winstrike, a lot of single target. Doom, they've got Storm, they've got Sven, Tusk, everyone kind of focuses one hero. They don't have a great amount of ways to do AoE team fights and choke points. And we're going to start off the game here with a smoke from Winstrike, in fact. Tusk with Enchantress and Sven, all heading across the map through the river. Now, who are they going to find? Xani's TA hiding in the trees. Doesn't look like they'll catch anybody. Yamage is still leading the charge. The smoke pops. Oh, I was wrong. They've gone straight in with the tag team. Xani gets refraction level 1, but it looks like he's still going to be dying here. Xani falls as first blood spilled. And Winstrike with a great start.
Yeah, it actually paid off. He was hiding in the trees trying to break a smoke, but they went from a different angle and it paid off. So just by looking at the lanes, Slardar is going to be matched up against the melee hero. It's going to be Phonic on that Slardar against EK Fogus. Okay, so they're swapping things around. You know, they have two melee cores. Either Doom is going to suffer or Sven's going to suffer. So they're just going to give Sven a better start, which I really like. Slardar just crushes, no puns intended, any kind of a melee matchup, especially if he's paired up with another stunner, which Lina is.
So that means this Slardar versus Doom matchup, you were talking about it, you know, at the start of the draft, that you think that Doom is going to have a pretty rough time as Slardar will chase him around. Do you think that HellRaisers here are just going to try and get Phonic a great start, leave PA a little bit neglected bottom lane, or is it going to be a straight-up lane swap?
They can just leave Slardar 1 versus 1 and rotate 2 heroes to the bottom and contest their tri-lane. I mean, Tusk, don't get me wrong, Tusk is an extremely strong tri-laner, same goes for Enchantress, but if they want to run a tri-lane on HellRaiser's side, they need to block the big camp, and then Enchantress is not going to really do much. But if they need to play against a tag team, against Sven stun, Enchantress slow, and another creep, like Winstrike's tri-lane is much stronger.
It sure is. And already Nyx has actually cut down a lot of the trees here. So the angles of attack from Winstrike, much more limited. They don't have that sneaky little maneuver in from the left-hand side of this bottom lane. So nice to see that the PA has prepped and got all ready. But looking towards the other lanes, Xani TA up against that Storm in the mid. As we've seen this go either way, right? Because Storm can burn through refraction very quickly, but TA with Psyblade splashes could also threaten kills on the Storm.
Yeah, this is an extremely skilled matchup. We've seen it, as you mentioned, go both ways. Either you're relying on Psyblades, how aggressive you want to play. Storm, once he gets to level 3, he's going to have 1-1-1 skill build, and this is where you can get a kill. And I believe that's a level 25 Storm Spirit.
Oh, he's got all the Battle Pass levels up. So Witch Doctor, no fear, does shift bottom. 2 versus 3 down there. They've left the Doom completely alone, and he's being shoved away from the lane by Lil. But I think the focus is going to be down south, as you're absolutely right. The Lina shifts here as well. Lil will join the tri-lane, and they actually make an aggressive play. Yamage, stunned by the cask, with the Light Strike Array not coming, as the boots of speed on the Tusk allow him to make a slow retreat, but he will leave with his life.
And they did block the side pool camp, so Enchantress can get the creep, which is pretty smart. And also, I'm really smart, you know, guessing all this stuff, Gary. Feel free to praise me throughout the game.
Absolutely.
Don't stop. Oh, Yamage, hiding in the trees, but they need to be careful. These are like 2 stuns. Let's see who's going to get to level 2 faster. I think when they get level 2 on side of HellRaisers, they're much stronger. They have an ability to close the gap with the Phantom Strike. There's going to be a lot of attack speed on Lina with just Fiery Soul and Witch Doctor. Like, he can go for Maledict or he can go for Voodoo Restoration in this type of lane.
Oh, mid lane.
You know, there's going to be... Oh, mid lane. What's going on?
It's exactly like you called. The 1-1-1 build actually dragged Xani under the tower. And Storm Spirit doing a good amount of damage there. As Lil sniping out, loses his courier, sorry. It's Ducalis sniping out the couriers, that Enchantress. Without those 2 camps that you were mentioning, the large camp block, the small camp block by the Dire team, has to go a little deeper to grab up that troll. But now she comes back into lane, still level 1 on her and Tusk. And we've got level 2s across all of HellRaisers. And we'll see if they actually can play aggressively with that level advantage. And Chant just to slow down Lil. Go for the troll trap. A little bit of harassment there from Ducalis, but Yamage still needs that snowball to get in on top of these targets.
I think Snowball in this situation is going to be used more defensively, especially if Witch Doctor decides to level Maledict up, but as goes for Witch Doctor, I still feel like it's a better thing if he just gets Voodoo Restoration, and then they can play aggressive. I mean, they can play aggressive and passive as well, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, they can hold back, look for their moment to strike. And as soon as they're ready, they can go straight on in. But a great job done here by Winstrike, dragging this lane back to the tier 1, so Sven can actually farm reasonably safely. But top 3 CS so far, it's all green all the way home. As HellRaisers have that Slardar going for a kill top on DK Fogas. He pops the salve, but the crush, the bash, and the final touch from Funnick gets him a kill. It looks like he's going to survive under the tower damage as well.
Yeah, he's fine, but he needs a ton of region back
On
to the
bottom
top
lane.
lane.
No Fear falls. PA and Lina looking for another Light Strike array. Funnick does die, as the Tusk is still getting gone on. Yamich trying to speed away with his little booties, pops the stick, but Nyx has that Phantom Strike to jump forward.
Yeah, that's actually nicely done by Funnick, where he decides to just suicide, was low on mana, 96 mana, had no HP if he decided to use the courier. Ducalis, what is he
he's
doing?
fine.
He's fine.
Sorry
Fake
for interrupting
hype.
you.
Fake hype coming once again
Lina
from
might
you.
not be fine. Oh, the cast comes back in. Light Strike arrays there, and Sven has overstepped. Does have the Tusk to back him up. And again, HellRaisers, like you said, they can play aggressively, but immediately they just fall back, Voodoo Restoration, and reset their lane.
What I would like to see is Witch Doctor just staying out of XP range, so Lina and PA can get level 3. I don't think you care too much about your Witch Doctor being level 3 in this kind of a lane.
It looks like that's what No Fear is trying to do, just lurking a little further away from that creep wave. Starting on the Lina, though. Tag team there. Nyx jumps the Tusk, snowball forward, and Lil tries to Light Strike array. Does catch the Sven at least. Oh, doesn't keep himself alive, but the turnaround play onto Yamich, never mind, won't actually be there for HellRaisers. So Lina had a Fairy Fire that might have kept her alive.
It would have kept her alive for sure. Top lane, I mean, Doom's doing okay. He's farming nicely. Like, he's just going for, I'm gonna get devoured. Okay, mid lane, there's a lot of action happening, Gary.
And that is that lane in a nutshell, right? They're both sitting on 200 HP. All it takes is a good Vortex or some good side blade spills. TA this time getting the upper hand.
I can't even finish my thoughts. There's a non-stop action happening.
Yeah, did you finish your thought about top lane Slardar denying to tower?
Yeah, that was really nicely done. Once he gets to level 6, if he gets level 6 faster than Doom, he might try to get a kill. DK Fogus, I mean, even if he gets level 6, he still needs mana sustain. He's only bringing 1 mango, and that's not enough. You can't just Doom him and follow him. You need extra mana, extra damage coming out from Scorched Earth or Infernal Blade. So he doesn't even have mana to use the Doom, actually.
That's a little bit upsetting. He'll bring himself out a wand. Let's see if that helps him a little bit. And Funnick's got 3 raindrop charges still remaining, so he's keeping himself all topped up. TA just farming away in the jungle, pushing out that mid wave, dipping back, keep that net worth increasing and accelerating. So far, 33 and 9, doing an exceptional job. Does go for the Vortex Storm, trying to chip away at those refraction charges. But it starts to become a rough one, and as soon as you see that first kill, and it's a solo kill as well, that level advantage does start to snowball a little bit. So for now, that try versus try continuing down in the bottom spot. No one's blinking, it's a game of chicken. Stay down here, we'll keep on fighting. But Tusk has smoked around.
Talking about chickens.
Finds the
Courier is
courier.
gonna die.
And that's boots down for Xani for a good couple of minutes.
I don't think Xani can die in this type of lane unless they bring like full mana on Storm Spirit and 1 extra guy.
They don't want to keep jumping. Sven, he's going to drop low. He's got a salve and a couple of 1 charges there, so he will be able to stick around in the lane. But now in a 2 versus 3 where you were talking about the try versus try, the 3-hero setup looked good for Winstrike, but Enchantress plus Sven just as a duo without the tag team, without the snowball, doesn't feel anywhere near as potent.
No, they can actually play aggressive now on the bottom lane, and if HellRaisers catch any sign of rotation coming out, they're gonna instantly start playing aggressively on the bottom lane. I think for Sven right now, it's time to dip. Like, he needs to go to the jungle, can't really afford to stay in the lane. He's not getting anything out of it.
And he will head off. Looks like TA has felt something coming. The storm was brewing around the mid lane. Tusk and Enchantress both trying to collapse to help out the Storm Spirit. But Kasani just goes into the jungle, leaves the mid lane completely open. While Phantom Assassin's free farming, Slardar's free farming. This is a dream start for HellRaisers. All of their cores really speeding towards their primary items.
And Xani's having a very good read on the game, like where he needs to move. Like, he's dodging all these ganks. It's being pinged out. The deep port is placed, so they see him, but these two heroes are not enough scan. It connects, they know something's happening.
Yeah, Lil was pinging it. That was blue pings from the Lina saying, hey, there's something going on here, and TA does get zipped on. Refraction charge is burnt down. No Fear comes in to try and save the day, but the snowball will secure them the kill. Slardar arrives, the little bashes and crushes, great two-man hit, and the Storm Spirit's in a lot of trouble. They turn around on a Funnick as the Doom arrives, the long run into this Radiant Triangle, while No Fear is being shredded here. Under the tier 2, Ducalis with a final impetus shot will clear him up, but Lina, the third hero to come in with Nyx, with the PA also arriving. It's a bloodbath. Every hero outside of the Sven has come to fight in this Radiant Triangle. Light Striker A won't be saving the Lina today, as a 4-hero destruction from Winstrike. They lose 2.
HellRaisers definitely did not expect to be 4 heroes there. Even Doom made a rotation, didn't even pop his ulti, so they still need to be very careful about it. Storm Spirit on the mid once again. This is a big kill if they can get it.
Straight back on the TA. Die, respawn, and die again. 4 heroes, would you believe it, in the middle lane.
I mean, this one's on Xani. They were just there. Like, the fight was still going on. Let's see if they get rid of that vision. Yeah, No Fear will be awarded. And every single time you kill Templar Assassin, you kill Meepo, anyone who can flash farm, like, they lose so much. Like, she's sitting at 56 CS at the moment. Still fine, because she was playing the lane really well. But, you know, these 2 deaths are going to cost your Blink Dagger and Deso timing.
They sure will, especially after such a great start. And like we were saying, the timings here from HellRaisers, pretty vital in executing their draft. Not only the Roshan timings around this TA Slardar, but also you're mentioning the Blink Deso on TA, the Blink on Slardar, the PA's primary items, which look like they're going to be S and Y, all need to come up reasonably quickly to keep up with that tempo of Sven, who can farm so quickly in the jungle with that cleave.
You need to itemize differently. On Phantom Assassin, you and me had a conversation before we actually started casting a game, like what's PA gonna go for, because you have Templar Assassin in your team. She's a natural Deso builder, and I don't think I've ever seen Templar Assassin without the Desolator. So you need to adjust your item build. You don't go for Battle Fury because, like, there's no illusions. Also, you have TA in the team, which means that she's gonna come online fast. So you also need to build items to fight. So I think SNY here is a natural choice.
So it allows the PA to kind of synchronize with the TA a little better. And don't have them
you
both
don't
farming
need
jungle.
damage. Damage is gonna be amplified by the Deso on TA and Corrosive Haze from Slardar.
Sounds about right. I mean, you were mentioning, you're saying we're having a conversation. You were saying a lot of smart things. I was nodding and smiling along at you. And you mentioned, Mask of Madness Basher. That would have been a fun little build.
This one was a troll build. Like, I don't think you want to, silence yourself. Instead, having more tankiness, some status resistance, move speed is a much better choice.
And you do need to keep those daggers and blinks forward going. A little bit of calm now as Winstrike, they've moved their 4 heroes from the triangle, from mid lane, now down to bottom. Yamech, Ducalis, and DK Fogas smoking up through the Radiant jungle. They don't have any vision of the TA. She's been hidden for a good couple of minutes after those 2 quick deaths. But it feels like they desperately want to try and snipe a target. Lil is alone in the mid lane. Ducalis starts with the slow. Doom sprinting in with the shards there. They trap the Lina in the igloo. And again, Winstrike bringing the numbers they need to find these early kills.
This is going to be a free tier 1 tower. Right now, Winstrike's playing extremely aggressive, using their smokes early on to grab some kills and get the advantage that they need. They don't allow this lineup from HellRaisers to come online. It's a scary lineup with all this minus armor.
Yeah, they're making great use of the map. You know, bottom lane Sven is actually pummeling the tier 1 tower there, and they are TPing top to defend the tier 1 up there as well. As Storm Spirit starts on Funnick Slardar, snowball in from Yamish now, and the tag team with the punch. It's a lot of damage. That's a good Maledict and Death Ward though. Oh, No Fear might have the Storm Spirit in the back. Well, Yamish is being bashed and crushed and cleared up by Funnick. Oh, finally they get the Slardar and take him down, but No Fear is going to be trading his life as well in a 2-for-1 as Storm Spirit does escape with his life, and the rest of HellRaisers unable to join the fight.
Every single time, Winstrike just outnumbers HellRaisers. They bring one, sometimes even two extra heroes. That means that two heroes who are not dying should get something off the map, and that's right now Phantom Assassin and Templar Assassin.
Oh, regen rune for Storm. Couldn't dream of a better rune right now as he's sitting on about a third of his HP and mana.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And the map feels pretty closed in here. The claustrophobic HR members all struggling to find space for themselves. You can see where Slardar is, PA, both nearby, kind of farming the same camp. And in fact, they're doing exactly that. Phantom Assassin comes in and says, that's mine.
That's not a good sign, you know, when your carry is stealing the farm from someone who also needs a farm.
And while over on Winstrike, they've got the entire map to themselves. Like Tusk is farming on the tower top, Doom's in jungle, Sven's clearing through large camps, Ancients, all the good stuff. But they do smoke top, find Ducalis, position 5 Enchantress, and hopefully a tier 1 for HellRaisers, as they do need a little more out of these long-winded smoke maneuvers.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
So they bring the numbers, they bring two extra heroes, they get a kill. We can see how strong this combo is. Corrosive Skin plus Phantom Assassin critting with coup de grace. One thing that's not going well, that's PA's levels. Because they were tri-laning, they were not making any pulls, the camp was blocked. That means that PA is going to be a bit under-leveled.
That's a good chase top. Shard's not quite on the mark though. Nearly finds the Lina. Funnick looks like he's still ready to give this a good shot, though. Going for drums first after the tread. Super tanky Slardar. We'll see that Blink Dagger come a little bit later. Yeah, PA. Looks like it'll be SNY into Basher. Still needs to create a little bit of space here for the TA. And she's working on that Desolator after Blink.
Winstrike wants to take a fight right now. They have Haste Rune on Storm Spirit plus an Orchid.
Full Orchid done. Oh, that's a big pickup for the Storm.
Dire are scanning.
Something, though, worth, you know, kind of looking towards in these team fights. HellRaisers not really reliant on long cooldowns. Death Ward and Laguna Blade really their only actual ultimate abilities. Whereas, do you feel Winstrike are reliant on the Doom and the God Strength, or is it a bit of this, a bit of that? They're both fine.
They did not use Doom once this game, and they managed to make a 3k gold lead for themselves and made a very good aggressive rotations.
And again into this triangle. Straight onto Lina with that Orchid, blowing her off the face of the map. Slardar's trying to get in on top of Storm as the PA not able to save No Fear, and Nyx is in trouble inside the shards. So many Winstrike heroes surrounding Funnick now, and it's going to be 4 heroes for the price of nothing. A bunch of freebies.
Yeah, I mean, Doom doesn't even have to use ulti. That's how strong they are right now. Extra 3k gold. Sven does not have ulti for 15 seconds, but with the tag team and Medallion on Tusk, they can take this Roche very quickly.
Yeah, Sven will just Midas Echo Saber. And having Aegis here, potentially for your Storm Spirit, will be a massive bonus for Winstrike. TA getting jumped by the Storm. Finding a little bit of space. Doom coming in, thinking about the ulti, throws it in. Oh, nice little meld, but the dust is there. They see the TA under that safety of invisibility. And Roshan still being taken by the rest of Winstrike, so they secure so much. In the past couple of minutes, they've got a massive number of kills, as well as Roshan getting Aegis, and the TA, her momentum has been stopped completely, it feels like.
And you're also stealing Aegis from the team that has Templar Assassin and Slardar on. You mentioned that we might see a lot of Roshan kills in this game, and definitely didn't expect that to be on the Winstrike team. Man,
No,
I
he
like how
definitely
Doom
didn't.
is not using his ulti at all. Like, I need to use the... Shit, we have too much damage. I don't need to pop it.
The threat of the Doom, greater than the Doom itself. We won't see it in the next fight because the smoke is coming. Winstrike, they really are just continually running at their opponents. Templar Assassin, you know, we think back to that laning stage where she got a solo kill against the Storm. From then on, it's been a real downhill slide. They do jump towards No Fear. Storm thinking about catching the Witch Doctor with Lil and Nyx both nearby, though. They don't want to go diving tier 3s just yet.
I would prefer if they gave Aegis the Storm Spirit. He was close. They did not want to, like, risk anything. Someone jumps in and steals it. Like, usually you don't give it to transformation heroes like Sven, Dragon Knight. Philosopher's Stone found. This is the item that use and enchanters. Like, both of these heroes rely on dealing physical damage in a team fight, so you can just keep it and then remove it or put it in your backpack during a team fight. Just get the value out of it.
Do a bit of item swapping. Sven, in fact, doesn't have a neutral item yet. As Winstrike converging up towards top into their own jungle, finding the Witch Doctor, who is in the middle of nowhere. Funnick, Kasani in the vicinity, but not close enough to actually turn around and battle with their opponents. Oh, they lose the TA's courier. Man, this game has become a nightmare for the TA now.
It really is. Losing 2 or 3 couriers, dying 2 times in a row, it really slowed her down.
1-4 and 1 for Kasani.
And they don't
Nyx
have...
does.
Yeah, go ahead, Gary.
I was just saying, Nyx does finish off the S and Y, so maybe feels ready to fight.
I mean, when you think about SNY as an item, it doesn't sound like, yeah, I want to take a fight. It's not a BKB, but at least you finished the item. It gave you a bit of tankiness. They need the Blink Dagger on Slaughter. I think they give him farm priority until he gets it so they can actually start a team fight. Because right now, Storm Spirit can do whatever he wants. He goes in, gets a pick off on the target. There is no counterplay.
And that's exactly why Funnick is in that mid lane trying to gather up the farm, but they've doomed up top. TA in a 1v1 against the Doom, trying to juke around the trees. No way. Kasani's found a way out, but Storm Spirit has the long zip. And that's the 5th death of the game on that Templar Assassin, while HellRaisers, they're scrambling. They're bringing everyone up here to try and find Storm Spirit. But how do you kill him? You gotta go back onto someone else. As Enchantress, there's Doom. They're both arriving now. Corrosive Haze up on Ench, but Storm Spirit back into battle. LSA misses, Snowball forward, dodges Laguna Blade. The Death Ward's down, but it's all lights out here as Winstrike just keep on going. TA, Lina both falling, and Slardar has got no retreat from this. Blink Dagger delayed as Funnick cleared up and a double kill for Storm, while DK Focus is diving tier 1.
That was such a good snowball save, not just to dodge Laguna Blade, but also remove a bit of damage coming up from Maledict and some extra bounces from the cask. I mean, all the things are lining up nicely for Winstrike. Doom will have a BKB pretty soon. Storm Spirit getting closer to his item. I mean, we didn't even talk about Sven. Sven was involved in only 3 out of 21 kills. Dude's just been silently farming, and as you mentioned, he still does not have a neutral item.
Yeah, he doesn't need one. He's handicapping himself, as maybe we'll be paying the price for it here. Maledicted up, but in comes the Doom. Shoves back No Fear. Funnick there with a crush. Aggressive Child still half HP. But Ducalit has fallen while Yamich arriving means they can focus the PA. Snowball into the back and really stuns up the TA. Good crush from Funnick. Aggressive Child will surely finally fall, but it's only the Aegis. Second life will allow him to respawn, and Storm straight into the back lines, sniping out both Lil and Nyx as Funnick is left to his own devices. HellRaisers have no way to defend against this aggression.
Oh, I thought this might be a good fight, but then I realized, yeah, Storm Spirit's missing it in action, and he's coming back with full mana, full HP. That's he's just
GG!
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. I was about to say that they might call it. They tried it. Things are not working out. The panel pointed out that they swapped 4 players in the last week or 2, so that's also not a good sign, you know.